Chris Abel is here. Time to talk about robots, video games, and so much more.
Yeah.
Hi, Chris. I could use a robot right now.
Yeah, and kind of help get the words out.
Well, I could use that more often than not. Okay, so the Switch, I was watching the Blue Jays game, and I think it was the Seattle Mariners, have the Switch 2 badging on the sleeve that obviously has been paid for with big advertising to promote the Switch coming out.
Yeah.
Expensive deal, I would say, especially because everything that has gone on about it's coming, nope, it's not going to happen. No, it's coming. Oh, tariffs. Oh, whatever. So what is the update with the Switch 2, and are people allowed to get it?
Brace yourself. This is going to be crazy. So, the first thing I'm going to say is that if you're interested in this system and you haven't done this yet, go to nintendo.ca and register your email so that tomorrow, when the pre orders start, you'll be sent an invitation email by Nintendo in order to go through the pre order process. So, that's the one thing you can do right now if you actually are interested. Of course, you want to check with all the retailers, your favorite stores that you go to tomorrow, because they'll have their own instructions. But right now, tonight, you can go to nintendo.ca and register your email. This is so you can pre order the system, which isn't launching until June 5th, and it's going to sell for $630 Canadian. The good news is that despite all the tariffs, that price has not gone up. It's still $630. The bad news is they just revealed this week that the video games for the system, which are normally $80, Mario Kart World, which is the big launch title, is going to be $110. So
That's
the
a big
tariffs
difference.
have affected the prices of the games as well as the accessories like the plastic steering wheels and the toys like the amiibos. Those have all gone up. But the big shocker that Nintendo revealed this morning, because their pre-order started already in Japan, early this morning that Nintendo said they got, now normally with the Nintendo system launch, they say in Japan they expect to get about 360,000 orders at launch. This morning they got 2.2 million.
Whoa.
2.2 million is crazy. That's about 6 times the normal level of ordering that they would get. Nintendo put out a very apologetic statement this morning saying that they were completely taken aback. Obviously, their supply does not meet that demand, and they admitted that a significant number of customers are simply not going to be able to get a Nintendo Switch 2. That yes, they will be working to try to get waves of resupply throughout the remainder of the year before Christmas, but at launch June 5th, they say a significant number of people are not going to be able to get the system.
They haven't said the number of people yet. I'm assuming that they're going to have for that are going to miss out.
So, I mean, usually the pattern of behavior is the same from one market to the next. Having done this going all the way back to the Nintendo 64, I can tell you that I have never seen a difference between Asia and North America in terms of the ordering patterns. Even when there seems to be surprises, everybody thought when Pokemon came out that that was going to be a Japanese only thing. No, apparently we're crazy about Pokemon too. And so I do expect that here in Canada, the pre-orders are also going to be a lot higher than what Nintendo Canada is probably expecting. And I remember the Nintendo Switch was absolutely insane. That took everybody by surprise. Everyone spent months asking me how they were going to get a Nintendo Wii for their family and their systems, and that was just incredibly hard. That was a case where Nintendo, I think, has learned a little bit from that, and they would increase the supply this year. But even then, I expect that much like what we just saw with Japan, I expect tomorrow they will be completely taken by surprise in terms of just how many pre-orders they're going to get.
Yeah, well, get in on it if you're interested, because you never know where things are going to change and whatever. There seems to be so much excitement about it for sure. Okay, Chris Abel is here. He's an ageless wonder. Good luck figuring out how old he is.
Yeah.
Although I did get a compliment, someone complimented because I turned 50 this year, Chris,
Oh
and
wow.
I got a compliment just this past week where someone it doesn't matter how not 50 they said I looked, but they said didn't say I looked 50. So I take that as a compliment. I mean, aside from guessing and crossing your fingers and hoping you don't insult the person, there's new ways to figure that stuff out.
There are, well, at least online is really, really tricky. And so, two networks are employing new technology to try to deal with this problem when it comes to dealing with young users and making sure that they don't have access to adult content. So, first is the network Discord. They have rolled into a face scanning technology. So, in the UK and Australia, for now, those two markets, anyone who tries to use Discord and tries to access adult content is going to be asked to at least record a little video selfie of themselves or take a photo of their photo ID and submit it in order to be able to get an adult account to be able to use Discord and access that other behavior. This is something that Instagram already put into place over a year ago over here. But now Instagram has also announced that to continue to try to deal with this, they're going to employ artificial intelligence, which is going to do behavioral analysis. So as you use an Instagram account, it's going to monitor the kinds of content you're going after, the kind of settings, the kind of photos that you upload. And based on that, if they think that you are below 18, if you're under the age of 18, then you automatically will have your account switched to a teen account. Now, there's a number of restrictions in play when you're a teen account user. It's not just, oh, this material is sensitive, you need to prove you're an adult to access it, but it's other things that put in place restrictions as to what time of day you can use Instagram. In the middle of the night, you're not going to be able to access your account. Of course, there are settings put in place that if you are an adult, you can then override that and prove to Instagram, no, I am an adult. Please stop, lift the restrictions. And I'm sure lots of teenagers are going to figure out how to do that too.
Exactly.
But for now, both Instagram and Discord, they're employing new approaches to try to weed out the youth from being able to access the more serious adult content.
Well, I don't know if there's any better hurdle for people to say, hey, by the way, if you want to look at these naked people, send us a picture of your driver's license. You want to see people scatter. They're going to not want to participate in that. And I feel like that's a bit of a compliment. Like when you get ID'd when you're out with your friends and they ID you for your drink and you're like, yeah, I got moved to a teen account. Or you just have bad taste in what you surf. And that's probably maybe concerning too. Chris, we've only got 1 minute left for your robots. So hit it.
All right. So in China, they're bragging about two things that are firsts. So in China, in Beijing, their annual half marathon happened for human runners to run. But this time they allowed robots from 21 different companies to be able to run alongside the humans and see how well they could do. The humans won. In fact, this was a 13-mile race, and most of the gold medalists who did it, they did it in just an hour. Of the robots, only 4 robots actually got to the finish line. There were several that broke down very early. One apparently had his head pop off his shoulders and roll across the floor. It was very comical at times. But the one winner that won managed to complete the 13-mile race in 2 hours and 40 minutes. So 1 hour for humans, 2 hours and 40 minutes for the winning robot.
Fascinating. I that's how I feel if I ran a marathon. My head would also pop off there at number 5 is alive. I feel your pain. Chris Abel, real Chris Abel, KrisAbel, on Twitter and Instagram. I am Shane Hewitt if you want to get connected because I like to retweet. There it is again. Need that robot, Chris. Retweet out what Chris shares about the show stuff. So it'll be on there for you too. Chris, as always, we'll see you next Wednesday.
All right. Take care.